Ladies and gentlemen, America is facing a firefighter shortage, right? And wildfires in America are at record level. So they are now realizing this is very serious. But we know how America rolls. She'll probably get people out of jail and pay them $1 a day to fight fires. So, labor shortage leaves US struggling to hire firefighters despite record wildfire funding. The United States government is committed to dealing with record setting amounts of money to fight wildfires this year. And it has already been a very busy season over the last few months, and it remains unclear whether the number of firefighters needed will be available, during a nationwide crunch. With a busy start to the fire season in the Southwest, a drought fueling high fires and danger from the Great Plains to the northern parts of California, federal officials are scrambling to hire roughly 16,900 fire personnel, including hotshot smoke jumpers and helitack crews. A letter from a 28 member Congress was sent Tuesday, and it called on federal agencies that fight wildfires, the U.S. Forest Service and the Department of Interior, to create a special pay rate for federal firefighters to avert critical staffing shortages in the wildland firefighting workforce. Lawmakers said staffing could be as low as 75% in some regions this season. Two agencies have combined budgets of $4.7 billion and have 1,549 fire engines and more than 313 helicopters, air tankers, and airplanes that can drop water or watch the forest for smoke. However, without adequate staffing, many of those fire engines could sit idle, stated the letter, which was noted last year. So they already saw as far as a year ago that there were not enough firefighters in America. Mm-mm-mm. And they were unable to fill an unprecedented 1,800 requests for firefighting crews and more than 1,900 requests for fire engines. In one state, the Forest Service had 60 fire engines just sitting idle because of low staffing and a midst of the largest fire in state history, the letter stated. Overall, the number of firefighters and resources should be slightly up from last year, with funding for a couple of hundred additional firefighters and $100 million in disaster funds both agencies can draw from to avoid raiding their own budgets during the fire season. So the amount the federal government spends on wildfire suppression has steadily risen over the past decade as wildfires become larger and more intense, reaching a record-setting 4.38 billion in 2021. A year ago, monster infernals like California Dixie and Caldor fires, more than 1 million acres burnt, destroyed multiple homes, and more than 2,300 structures. The cost $900 million and thousands of firefighters to suppress. In addition to an uptick in federal firefighters, many states are also upping the number of wildland firefighters they employ, including an additional 100 fire personnel in Oregon for 2022. While the federal government and states have optimistic goals, the reality of hiring firefighters have proven challenging in a tight labor market. This is an urgent threat to natural resources, public safety, and taxpayer dollars, as the federal government pays a premium to contract and borrow firefighting resources from state and local authorities when federal resources are unavailable, the letter from lawmakers stated. In testimony before the Senate Appropriation Committee, May 4th, Forest Service Randy Moore, he said he had to hire 10,200 firefighters out of its goal of 1,100, 300. But he added some areas had only reached 50% of the staffing goal. We are making offers, and there's a lot of people are declining offers from the federal government. So that's turning into a big problem, according to Moore. There's a lot of competition in the labor market for these skills because when you have county, state, and private firefighters, often sometimes making double the salaries as Forest Service firefighters are making, it's very hard to compete with that. Firefighters with the Forest Service earn about $38,000 a year. Their counterparts for private and state firefighting agencies make close to $70,000 to $80,000 a year. Acting Forest Service Vicki Christensen said in a hearing last year, entry-level firefighters make as little as $15 an hour, but we know they get prisoners out and they pay them literally $1 a day, which is outrageous. But you know how America's always trying to enslave people. Forest Service officials declined to say exactly where shortfalls in hiring were, but the response drew concerns. 50% sounds a little scary when you're thinking about the fires that you'll be facing in our various states. So, the Department of Interior, which plans to hire 5,600 fire personnel, said it hired 4,100 so far, but added that it was typical not to reach full staffing until summer. The letter said that years of low pay and other issues hollowed out the federal wildland firefighting workforce. So they really did this to themselves by underpaying a lot of these folks. It's just like everything that you're seeing out here with the great resignation. People are leaving because they're being underpaid and they're tired of working for such little income. So you see this is happening among firefighters as well. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.